The entire courtroom laughed when my husband held up my old journal and called me the most dramatic woman alive. Even the smug smile on his lawyer's face made me feel like I'd already lost. Then the judge unfolded one sealed letter I'd asked to be read only if my husband accused me of lying, and the room became so silent that I could hear my ex-husband stop breathing. My name is Claire. I'm 36 years old, and the day my marriage officially ended was also the day the truth destroyed the man who had spent years destroying me. When I met Jason, everyone said I was lucky. He was handsome, successful, and charming enough to make strangers trust him within minutes. I fell for him quickly. Our wedding looked like something out of a magazine. My father hugged me before walking me down the aisle. "He's a good man," Dad whispered. I know. I believed every word. The first year of our marriage was wonderful. Then little things began changing. Jason criticized everything. "You'd be prettier if you lost 10 pounds. Why do you always embarrass me in front of people? You should be grateful someone like me married you." Each comment sounded small by itself. Together, they slowly erased the woman I used to be. Whenever I cried, he smiled. "There you go again." Eventually, I stopped defending myself. That was exactly what he wanted. 3 years later, I barely recognized myself. He controlled our money. He controlled where I went. He even convinced my closest friends that I was emotionally unstable. "If Claire tells you I'm mean," he'd laugh, "remember she exaggerates everything." People believed him because he always smiled while saying it. Then came the biggest betrayal. One evening I came home early after feeling sick. Jason wasn't expecting me. I heard laughter upstairs. A woman's laughter. I quietly opened our bedroom door. Jason was kissing my best friend, Vanessa. None of them noticed me at first. When they finally turned around, Vanessa burst into tears. Jason didn't. He simply sighed. "Well." He looked annoyed. "I guess you know." I couldn't even speak. Vanessa kept apologizing. Jason rolled his eyes. "Don't make this dramatic." "Dramatic?" He shrugged. "We haven't been happy for years." That sentence hurt more than the affair itself. He'd already rewritten our marriage inside his own mind. Within 2 weeks, he'd moved out. A month later, he filed for divorce. Then the lies began. He told everyone I was mentally unstable. He claimed I'd become obsessed with him. He even accused me of stalking him after the separation. People I had known for years suddenly stopped returning my calls. My own aunt asked me gently, "Claire, are you getting help?" I realized Jason had gotten to everyone first. The worst part came during mediation. Jason looked across the table and smiled. "If you cooperate, maybe I'll let you keep your car." I stared at him. "Our car." He laughed. "Prove it." He'd secretly moved most of our shared money months before filing for divorce. By the time my lawyer discovered it, the accounts were nearly empty. Everything had been planned. I cried every night. Not because I wanted Jason back. Because I couldn't understand how someone who once promised forever could enjoy watching me fall apart. Then something unexpected happened. While packing old boxes, I found a flash drive hidden inside one of Jason's jacket pockets. At first, I almost threw it away. Instead, curiosity won. I plugged it into my laptop. It contained hundreds of files. Business contracts. Photos. Voice recordings. Then I opened one folder labeled insurance. Inside were recordings Jason had secretly made during our marriage. He'd recorded nearly every argument. But something shocked me. He'd edited them. Every recording ended right before he insulted me. Every file made me sound unreasonable while hiding everything he'd said first. I felt sick. Then I found another folder. This one wasn't edited. The originals. For the first time in years, I heard the complete conversations. Jason screaming. Jason threatening to ruin me if I ever left. Jason laughing while I cried. One recording froze my blood. His voice said, "Nobody will ever believe you. I'll make sure of that." I realized he hadn't just manipulated me. He'd been preparing for divorce for years. I immediately contacted my lawyer. She listened to every recording. When she finished, she looked at me quietly. "This changes everything." But she also warned me. "If we reveal everything too early, Jason will find another way to twist the story." So we waited. Then I wrote a letter. Not to Jason. To the judge. My lawyer suggested attaching it to our evidence with one request. Only read it if Jason publicly questioned my honesty or mental stability during the hearing. I agreed. The morning of court arrived. Jason looked confident. Vanessa sat behind him wearing an expensive white suit. She smiled every time I looked away. The hearing started normally. Then Jason took the stand. He told the judge I'd invented abuse because I wanted more money. "I've spent years trying to help my wife." He sighed dramatically. "Unfortunately, she confuses imagination with reality." His lawyer held up my personal journal. "We found this." My stomach dropped. Jason had taken it before moving out. He waved it in front of everyone. Every page is full of emotional overreactions. People chuckled softly. Jason smiled. I loved Claire. He looked directly at me. "But you can't argue with someone who lives inside fantasy." The judge remained expressionless. "Is that your testimony?" "Yes, Your Honor." My lawyer slowly stood. "Your Honor." She handed over one sealed envelope. "My client requests that you now read Exhibit 32. The judge recognized it immediately. He opened the envelope. Jason smirked confidently. The judge began reading aloud. "If this letter is being read, then my husband has once again called me a liar. Your Honor, I ask only one thing. Please listen to the complete recordings attached after you finish reading. My husband believes edited stories become truth if repeated often enough. He has spent years telling everyone I am unstable. He isolated me from family. He controlled every dollar I earned. He recorded our private conversations without my knowledge, then altered them to erase his own threats. He believes this courtroom will become his final audience. I no longer need anyone to believe my tears. I only need them to hear his own voice." The judge looked toward the clerk. "Play the evidence." The first recording began. Jason's calm courtroom voice disappeared. Instead, everyone heard him screaming, "I'll destroy your reputation if you ever leave me." Another recording played. "You'll never get a penny because everyone thinks you're crazy." Then another. "I'm keeping these recordings so I can edit them later." The courtroom became completely silent. Vanessa's smile disappeared. Jason suddenly stood. "Those recordings are illegal." My lawyer calmly replied. "They were found on your own encrypted drive." Jason turned pale. The judge continued listening. One final recording echoed through the room. Jason laughed. "Even if I cheat, everyone will blame Claire." Nobody laughed anymore. The judge removed his glasses. "Mr. Carter." His voice was colder than I'd ever heard. "Do you wish to change your testimony?" Jason looked around desperately. "No." Then another twist hit. My lawyer requested permission to introduce newly discovered financial evidence. The judge agreed. Bank statements appeared on the courtroom screen. Jason had secretly transferred nearly $400,000 into accounts under Vanessa's brother's name months before filing for divorce. He'd hidden marital assets while claiming he had almost nothing left. His own lawyer looked stunned. "You never told me this." Jason couldn't answer. Vanessa quietly stood and walked toward the exit. Jason called after her. "Vanessa." She didn't even look back. The judge immediately ordered a forensic accounting review and froze every hidden account until the investigation was complete. Jason had walked into court expecting applause. Instead, he walked straight into possible fraud charges. Outside the courthouse, reporters had already gathered. Someone leaked the recordings before sunset. The same friends who had ignored my calls suddenly started apologizing. Some admitted Jason had convinced them I was unstable. One apology hurt the most. It came from my father. He knocked on my apartment door holding my favorite flowers. "I failed you." I hugged him before he finished speaking. "You believed him." Tears filled his eyes. "I know." Weeks later, the court finalized everything. Because Jason had intentionally hidden assets and lied under oath, the judge awarded me a significantly larger share of our marital property and ordered him to pay my legal fees. The company where Jason worked also opened an internal investigation after learning he'd falsified financial disclosures connected to the hidden accounts. Within months, he lost both his promotion and his reputation. The people he'd spent years manipulating no longer answered his calls. As for Vanessa, she disappeared from his life almost immediately. Apparently, she hadn't signed up to stand beside a man everyone now knew was a liar. One rainy afternoon, nearly a year later, I received a handwritten envelope. It was from Jason. Inside was a single page. "I never thought you'd actually fight back." That was all it said. No apology. No explanation. Just disbelief that the woman he'd spent years breaking had finally stood up. I folded the letter, walked outside, and dropped it into the nearest trash can. Then I drove home to the little house I'd bought with the settlement he had tried so hard to steal from me. For the first time in years, the silence inside my home didn't feel lonely. It felt peaceful. People often ask if I regret writing that letter to the judge. The truth is, the letter didn't destroy my marriage. Jason had already done that. The letter simply gave the truth a voice when mine had been ignored for far too long. And the man who mocked me in court learned the hardest lesson of his life. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one holding the truth that can bring everything crashing down.